My name is Christina, and this is day 5 of losing my children in Suffolk County Probate Court. Today was a lot. We were reached out to by people with experience in this sort of thing. And it's really amazing, and by amazing, just deeply horrible to see people out there that are saying the same things, including this one woman that I spoke to. She lives near me in Boston, and unfortunately her case got transferred as well from Honorable Judge Ward to the judge that ordered my children to be taken from me fully. The similarities in the case were that there were concerns. Children were refusing to go, they were getting hurt, and the previous judge had made orders that protected the kids. And then once the judge changed, she completely reversed the order. In that case, it was much more dire. The son was older, and he said that if he had to go back, that he would harm himself. And right after it changed, he did. He's still alive, and that mom is still battling that. So it was scary to hear, because I know that that's now the 4th plus known case like my children. But I believe of all of them, I'm the only one that at this point has fully lost custody of them. But all of them are similar. It was amazing to be recognized by One Mom's Battle. I remember finding One Mom's Battle when I was very distressed at some of the things that the judge had said to me months ago. She wrote a book about divorcing certain type of people, and she said my story is exactly what she hears, and that sometimes with certain types of judges this happens. And it was heartbreaking to hear that there are kids out there in distress that can't see their mothers. It's unnatural. It's completely unnatural. The maternal instinct, when you carry a child in you, when you know, it's all of its nutrients come from your body. You carry it for 9 months. It is the most precious and important thing to you. And it is a thing that we as children innately need for protection. Not that we don't need other things, but, you know, as someone that had a mother with severe challenges, I will tell you, it took me a long time to separate my feelings of innate protection and love, and, you know, wanting to be loved and wanting to be protected by my mother. Because those things are instilled in you. And for a child, you know, to be taken from a mother, let alone a caring, protective mother, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, and I wouldn't wish that on any child. The other thing that I was able to get today, which was amazing, well, not amazing, none of this is amazing, but was the medical record from the crisis intervention that happened from the hospital. And I guess having experienced so many years of, you know, gaslighting and things like that, you do in the back of your mind wonder, you know, is this going to say, you know, what I heard her say? Because so many people try to tell you that you're wrong when you're in court, and you have like another attorney screaming at you, accusing you that you were going to harm your children and harm yourself. He accused me of going to murder, suicide my children. I've never done anything to harm myself or my children. Anyway, the report stated exactly what I said happened, if not worse. The report stated feeling safe with mom, that she doesn't have any coping mechanisms with this degree of her anxiety and lack of mental health care, that one of her main coping mechanisms is being with mom. Her school wrote and confirmed that she does well in school, but does struggle with separation from mom. Funny, it didn't say anything negative about mom, but it did talk about the mental health challenges, the thoughts of self-harm, the way in which she wanted to do it, hiding under a blanket, looking in extreme distress, saying that the reason why that was happening is because she was going to leave mother's house and didn't want to and didn't feel safe doing that. And that the symptoms were worsening as that was getting closer. I don't understand the argument that gets made is like, well, they're not arguing to not go to school at dad's house. Well, why? They feel safe at school. Of course they're going to want to go to school. When they're saying that they don't want to leave to go to school, and that because they know I'm not going to pick them up. And so what happened when, the other parent that was there, we reassured her that by telling the truth, that helps keep her safe. Why is my daughter ever going to want to tell the truth again? That's something that just sticks in the back of my mind, Raising teenagers. I mean, people always said little kids, little problems, big kids, big problems. You want your children to be able to come to you if something's going on, if they're getting hurt, or if they made a bad decision. Why is she ever going to want to talk about it, knowing that the most important place that she reports to a doctor feeling safe is with her mother? And I'm sorry, but when his attorney says, with no evidence, no proof, is going to be different or is going to be trusted over a hospital's crisis counselor specialized on youth that actually knows mental health and how a child is presenting in extreme distress, who's stating firsthand why. We also talked to a doctor and professor that specializes in this who had very useful things to say, and it made me feel terrible because it was what I was saying, and that means that my daughter needs me, and that she doesn't feel safe without me, and that report, which is what she said, of needing me to feel safe because of the things that were going on, not in our house, that now she's just holding it together. And with reported bad thoughts of self-harm, fear of talking about those now, not being in a safe space to talk about them, reported fear of retaliation. Who could do something like this? How will she trust a doctor? How will she trust a police officer? How will she ever trust a court should she need to go in for something important in the future? This sends the message that if you speak up, you get punished. And if you keep quiet, you can at least stay with your mom. Or as a mom, you can at least stay with your kids. It's not right. That's neglect. I am not a neglectful mother. I have to go to bed to try to get some sleep, because I've got to get up tomorrow morning and do this all over again. I appreciate so many friends reaching out, so many friends speaking out publicly, so many friends that spend so much time with us, firsthand to see the mother that I am. I appreciate that. I appreciate the people that don't know me at all, that know that story maybe happened to them. But most importantly, I feel terrified for the other women that I spoke to that have not yet reached my exact state, but are on my same exact path. with my same exact judge in our same city. This is Boston. We're supposed to care. It's my son's swaddle blanket. In the report, it said that my daughter hid under a blanket. And speaking to someone in healthcare, they were like, that's a sign of soothing and anxiety, but like feeling calm from anxiety. And it makes sense why my son also sleeps with his swaddle. It's Mr. Swaddle. He's a boy. This is actually my daughter's, and he used to chew on the end of it. But this is Mr. Swaddle. And when we go away, I take it with me. When we go stay for the weekend, or when we go on a big trip, when we went to Disney World, when I took them to Disney World in November, we always take Mr. Swaddle. And my son sometimes will have that moment of forgetting and be like, oh, Mr. Swaddle. And I'm like, I've got him. I always bring Mr. Swaddle. But I'm keeping him safe until I bring my kids home. This is day 5 of having my children taken from me from Suffolk County Court.